can share something, when you think about the Oppression Olympics, there's another set of biases almost put out there, right, by society that has created this set of standards. And when you look at the actual concept of the Oppression Olympics, it's really good to see the hierarchy of oppression. And if you all as leaders in the community, and like, what is that? It's really based down to a pyramid, looking at, okay, who's at top and who's at the bottom. And it's pretty obvious, right? Who's the people at the top? Well, these white cisgendered males. Who's underneath? White cisgender females. Who's underneath that? And people argue like, oh, white, male identified as LGBT. There's all these pieces, right? But then it combats with Oppression Olympics. Like, okay, whose oppression is more valuable? Mine is. No, mine is. And when you're working in communities and when you're working in coalitions, that comes up. Politics pop up. So it's like, yes, like I love the example Christian gave, right? Black Lives Matter in that movement, collectively. But if you have another group saying, what about us? Do our lives not matter, right? You get that stigma. It's like, well, no, we're not saying that. But we're saying in this moment, this is what's important. But Oppression Olympics come in. Why is that person more valuable? Why do they get what we, why don't we get that? And you start playing that game. Again, come through biasism. And a lot of times you have to be critical on that, because that's part of the structure, and it's set up to make us fail, and it's set up to make us fight against one another, right? Instead of talking about Black and brown hate, we need to be talking about Black and brown unity and being okay with it and working collectively. So there's all these pieces with it. And I think when you're looking at yourself as leaders, it's very critical to have that mindset as you're engaging with youth and you're engaging with communities of color. Where does your biasism come in? What hierarchy are you putting these specific needs of yours over someone else's, theirs over yours, and why you're doing it? So things you're processing and thinking about. But it's always cool if you just type in Google and look up hierarchy of oppression. It always gives you like the pyramid and the set standard of what goes where. Where the reality, I believe, it's been years since I've seen it, but I believe Black women and Indigenous women are at the bottom of the pyramid. And I believe right above that is like Latinx women. Those are the pieces to really look at.